This story has inspired many myths and legends, often filled with elements of horror and suspense. Jinns evoke feelings of uncertainty and danger when they interact with humans. The story of a man marrying a jinn is also full of such elements. One day, a strange man lived in a deserted village. This man's name was Time Traveler. For days, the village people had watched his strange clothes, strange speeches, and mysterious objects with curiosity. The Time Traveler came to the village with a mysterious mission and created unrest in the village with his prophecies that surprised everyone. However, over time, people began to accept his differences and began to enjoy chatting with him. The Time Traveler touched the lives of everyone in the village and gave them an unforgettable experience. Eventually, the village people began to feel grateful to him and accepted him as a part of their village. The Time Traveler was also at peace with the warmth and hospitality of the people in the village and stayed in that village for a long time. The presence of this strange man left an unforgettable mark on the lives of everyone in the village. For the people living in an isolated village, the Time Traveler opened the door to an extraordinary experience. His mysterious presence changed the perspective of the village people and increased their respect for differences. The Time Traveler was not only a traveler, but also a teacher who touched people's hearts. The time they spent provided a new perspective on the villagers' lives. We might think that the Time Traveler needs mysterious beings to remind us that our differences enrich us and that we are stronger together. Years later, the most beautiful girl in the village falls in love with this Time Traveler. One night, he goes to her door with the excuse of holding a dessert plate. The door is ajar and the woman slightly pokes her head inside. A huge dust cloud from inside moves towards the woman's eyes. The woman faints right there. The Time Traveler takes the woman in, first takes off all her clothes and places her in the middle of the room. Then she starts making meaningless spiritual sounds. A mystical atmosphere gradually spreads into the room, blurring the woman's consciousness. The Time Traveler lights an ancient incense in his hand, and that mysterious smell spreads to every corner of the room. Later at night, the woman opens her eyes and looks around. Around him are dancing beams of light, extraordinary figures, and incomprehensible symbols. The woman is fascinated by this mysterious experience, and a deep bond forms between her and the Time Traveler. Together, they embark on a journey beyond time, moving deeper into their souls. After that night, the beautiful woman was nowhere to be found in the village. The Time Traveler was never heard from. All the children born in that village for 37 years reminded me of the missing woman. Over time, first the young and single people, then the middle-aged people left the village. No one lives in this village anymore, and other villagers do not even step foot in this village, so that this curse does not last forever. Some commentators think that jinn represent the dark and unknown aspects within humans. This story can be a metaphor for a person confronting his inner world and living in peace with it. Therefore, it may not be a horror story, but it may also be a story with a deep meaning that tells the spiritual journey of a person.